Alright, welcome back. This is episode 3 of my Legend of Zelda, A Link to the Past playthrough. Last time we had finished 2 of the palaces and gotten 2 pendants, and it is now time for the 3rd. We had done a bit of a save warp over here to the sanctuary, and by talking with this guy, he will give us some health back, tell us to go find the pendants, and that's what we'll do. There's one more pendant left up on the mountains. In order to get there, we're going to have to go through a mountain cave. So if you look at the quick map, you can see that that's up there. But we're going to have to kind of go back and forth up those mountains in order to get up there. So one step at a time. First, we get out of here, deal with him. Not too much trouble. One thing I do want to do, though, is now that I have the boots, I can come up here. Bump into the wall. Oh, dear. Not going well. Get some space, get them out of my way. There we go. But over here is this bunch of rocks, and if we slam into them, we unveil a staircase, and we freak out one of the guards down there. Not a big deal. In here is a piece of art. We have one more piece to find before we complete another one, and we're going to find that relatively soon. Let's sneak up here, ignore those guards. We'll find ourselves with a bunch of trees and a bunch of ravens. Ow! I'm going to come back. Oh, I didn't expect them to come that far. Ignore these green things. Nope, where are you going? Zigzag, zigzag. Okay. Let's come over here and read this sign. Danger! Do not enter Death Mountain without the king's permission. Well, guess what? We're going to be a rebel. And go up the mountain to this cave. Sudden drop down, and let's see, go this way. A couple of bats. Hole in the ground. Let's not go that way. Ow! I'm sure if I switch to the boomerang, I could use those against the bats, but we'll see. Come around this way. More bats. Take that. There aren't too many enemies you can kill with the boomerang, but the bats do happen to want to... Oh, who's this? I don't know who you are, but if you're going up the mountain, will you take me with you? I lost my lamp, so... Sure, we'll take this old man up the mountain. Good old Link is good for that. Watch your step. There are holes in the ground. Could you turn right here? Young man, are you also going to the mountain to look for the golden power? Just ahead is a mountain full of monsters. Many people have vanished in this mountain while looking for the golden power. I don't want to steer you wrong, so please don't get too involved in such a mad quest. Well, he says right, but there's actually nothing at the end of this. I think he just wants us to turn right around this pit. Wander up this way. Turn right here. You know, I have a granddaughter who is your age. The king took her to the castle and she never returned. Kidnapping those maidens must be part of the wizard's plot. I'm sure he is trying to somehow use the power of the descendants of the wise men. Well, that certainly seems like his MO at the moment. The exit. Here we go. Now these guys are trouble. They move randomly, do a ton of damage, and you can't kill them. They just turn to stone like that. Big rocks are a problem too, but if we come to the hole... The missing maidens are alive somewhere. I believe that a hero will rescue them. I wait for that day. These are dangerous times. I talked too much. Anyway, thank you for your kindness to an old man like me. I wanted to give you this. If you wander into a magical transporter, gaze into this mirror. He gave you the magic mirror. This mirror is blue, clear, and beautiful. You feel like it's going to absorb you into another world. Such a very Nintendo description. Anyways, we're going to go follow him in. Wrong button. The wizard has deceived the king, and now he is trying to open the way to the Dark World. To complete your quest, you will need the Moon Pearl, which is in the tower at the top of the mountain. All I can do for you now is to comfort your weariness. Come back here anytime. And he gives us a free heal. And we're also going to go out his back door. And... I missed the first one. Sometimes I get all 3. One pot will take care of him, though. But by going through these caves, this gets us a little up the way of the mountain, but it's really helpful because it means we don't have to deal with the big rocks coming down very much. They're definitely the biggest problem of this area. Of course, once we get to the top of the mountain, they won't be a problem anymore. Run! Stop! Run! Here we go. This sign. This cave leads to the path back to Kakariko Village. We don't want that. So we're going to go ahead right on up. Takes a while. And using the boots and the stairs doesn't really go faster for whatever reason, so... There's some caves here that we could look in. Unfortunately, I don't think there's really anything much of value beyond, maybe some fairies. There's a piece of heart on top of the rock over there, and if we come in here, we see another piece of heart and a tablet. You see up there in the top right, above my life bar. Sahasrara will probably talk to us up there. And I don't remember. Is it this one that gets us up there? We're gonna take a shot. Go for this one. I think it's this one. Yeah. Because the other one will drop us into that upper path there. And there's some fairies over there that I could catch, but I think I've already got, a couple of fairies already. So, but I believe if we come up here, we will find that piece of heart that we saw earlier. And this. Link in his eyes, Sahasrara. You must somehow make your way to the top of Spectacle Rock. From there, you can reach the Tower of Hera on the top of Death Mountain. Alright. Unfortunately, this does mean we have to come back down. I could have dropped down onto the other path and gone out the other hole, but, doesn't really matter. In any case, we're going to have to climb back up again, because we can't go back up. So more dashing, stop more dashing. Okay. And we can try and use the boots to get up the stairs, but as you can see, it actually doesn't make us go any faster. But we go fast as soon as we get to the top, which is nice. So Sahasrara is talking about Spectacle Rock. This rock up here, this cave that we went into, this whole thing is called Spectacle Rock, because it kind of looks like a pair of spectacles or glasses. Sort of, maybe, if you squint your eyes, ironically. There's another drop, I think, here, but I don't think it leads to anything. This is a teleporter. And once we step in, we will go to the Dark World. And we're a bunny! Oh my gosh! I can't use my weapons, I can't use my items, I can't even pick up a bush. What do I do? What's going on? We got these guys. What do they have to say? Oh, who are you, Mr. Bunny? This world is like the real world, but evil has twisted it. The golden power is what changed your shape to reflect what is in your heart and mind. I'm always changing my mind, so I turn into a ball. But if you have a ball called the Moon Pearl, you can keep your original shape here. And this guy? What do you want? Do you have something to say to me, silly rabbit? I came here to get the power of gold, but now I'm a freak and I can't go back to the real world. If only I had the Moon Pearl from the Tower of Hera, I could go back to my original form, shape. I've got a good reason to be stressed out, so back off. Shoo, shoo. And he proceeds to go ahead and kick him around. There's nothing else really to do here other than to recognize that, this area looks a lot like Spectacle Rock, but kind of inverted. So let's come over here, switch to the mirror, and use it. And now we're back. So the magic mirror allows us to go back and forth between the worlds, but only works in one direction. However, when we go from the dark world to the light world, we get this little magic portal here, and we can drop back in if we want to, but we don't want to do that right now. We want this piece of heart, though. And now, we'll go ahead and drop up over here. This is the Tower of Hera, but we're going to come over this way for a minute and look at something over here. Here is this strange floating island above the clouds, kind of, and this strange pedestal. What does this say? Well, that looks like a lot of gibberish, but that happens to be Hylian. So, if we call the book and use it, hold up the Master Sword and you will get the magic of Ether. Well, we don't have the magic sword yet, so we're going to have to come back here later. But we have to remember that it's there. Well, watch out. Those guys are scary. There's more of the mountain that we can explore over here, but we really don't need to at the moment. Let's go ahead and head into the tower. Now, if you see, this tower has a really interesting gimmick with these switches. These balls, if you hit them, will swap these blocks up and down. So, if we want to explore and look around, we're going to need to make use of that. There's some stairs down. Let's see where this leads. A room with a key. Ah! Skeletons with red are more inclined to throw bones. Better to trap them in the corner. Come around to this guy. Ow! Okay. Now we're going to hit this switch and this guy's going to come out, so we have to be real careful. These guys do damage. We got into them earlier in the Moldorm cave. That's what they're called, the mini Moldorms. Ah! But they definitely move around randomly, and they require 3 hits? 2, okay. Wasn't sure. But we need to hit this again, because if you recall, there were blue blocks up above these stairs. And if they were up, we would not have been able to get out. So, One of the other things we can do is we don't have to hit them with our sword. We can use, like, arrows, or more conveniently, our boomerang. There's a plate here. Let's see what Sahasrara has to say. Link, it is I, Sahasrara, the Elder. I have some advice. In the dungeons, you can gaze into the magic mirror to return to the entrance at any time. Do not forget this. That is definitely going to be very handy here in just a moment. But in the meantime, we got some monsters. We got these really strange creatures who like to breathe fire. At the moment, they're kind of caged in, but we're going to run into them later. So this gives us a really kind of good opportunity to see what they're like and what they're about. That's the map. And if we look at the map, you'll see that we have quite a few floors above us. So, quite a lot of dungeon to go through. However, we need to use this key that we just got to go downstairs. Now this room is mean, because we have to wait. I'm going to throw that to get these blocks to go down, because we're going to want them down here in a minute, but now we have to deal with these floating tiles. And the door will not open until all the tiles have gone. Now one thing we can do is we can swing our sword, stave them off that way. Just have to know what order they're coming from. Ah, that's not a good place to be. I'm not really quite sure what this pattern is that they do, but they don't do all the tiles, just most of them. Ah, that hurt. Ah, I wasn't paying attention. Well, that could have gone better, but again, strange little thing. Is it a space invader? Is it the face of Ganon? Is it just a skull with ears? We don't know. But we do need to go in here and deal with some more of these little worms. And unfortunately, if we want to go through that door down here at the bottom, we're going to need to bring this down and invite them to the battle. Let's see. Ah! Oh, that went well. Again, spacing is what matters. And the problem with these guys is you can never really quite tell what direction they're going to go in. But we were able to get through without too many problems. Okay, so now we have a room with these little lamps and some pots giving us lots of magic. So that's probably a big clue that we should be using our magic here to light these lamps. You'll see this puzzle come up quite a bit through the course of the game. I know we've already seen it like 2 or 3 times already, but here we have the big key. Excuse me. The big key, as always, is necessary not only to open the big door, but also to get to the big chest. And one of the things that we already know is that there's something called the Moon Pearl that allows us to keep our form when in the Dark World. And so that's going to be the treasure of this cave. We seem to be in a bit of a predicament. We can't reach over there. We could go back down and hit the switch, or take the advice and use this to get to the other side and have it reset the dungeon for us. And now we can go up these stairs. I could have, gone back down the floor and opened that, or hit that one ball down there, but anything works. Now we have these fellas. These guys are interesting because they like to bounce. And if you time it right, you can actually knock them down pits and get rid of them that way. This guy's being in a bit of a difficult position. However, you'll notice that every time I hit him, I also get pushed back, so we have to be very careful with those guys. Don't want to fall out of pits ourselves. When the pit has this sort of like texture beneath it, that means we'll drop to the lower floor. But we want to go up, not down. We'll step on this. Oh, I probably could have waited a little, but oh well. Let's see if we can get these guys to come up here a little bit. I'm talking about the 2 on the left here, so that when we step on the switch, they disappear. Oh, only got one of them. Oh well. Let's see if we can deal with them this way. They're not the most, but they can be pretty troublesome, especially if you're not used to the game. And this is the door that's locked by the big key, so it's a good thing we grabbed that first. So now we get to head up here. Let's see if we can knock these down the pit a little. No, they're not quite going. Ow! I think I want to hit this. Nope, I don't. Let's not hit that. Instead, we're going to come over here. And then we're going to come over here. And then we're going to hit this, so to lower those blocks so that we can go up the stairs here. You can see that it's really kind of mixing these two ideas together, creating these, very complex rooms. Ah, I missed. There's nothing up here. Ah! Oh, that's not good. It's a good thing I have fairies. One of these pots has a heart in it. I can't remember which one. Ah, that's not good. Nope. Splat on the face. However, we have a fairy. Get us back on our feet. Resets the music. Ah, there's that heart that I was thinking of. I think there's another one down here. Plenty of money. You'll notice that my money's getting pretty darn high at 900, 400, 943. The maximum... Ow! Good heavens, this guy. See, they're just really unpredictable. Okay. We got it. I'm going to switch back to the boomerang. Not finding much health here. That chest should have the compass. You have found the compass, now you can pinpoint the lair of the blah 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 blah. It's going to be on the top floor, no big deal. We have another plate here, though. Link in his eyes, Sahasra the Elder. An orb known as the Moon Pearl is in this tower, which we've heard from at least 3 other people. Whoever holds the Moon Pearl is protected so that his form will not change in the Dark World. You must find it and escape from the tower. Don't forget the Moon Pearl. Now that's, I think, where we want that. And these guys are back. Not too much of a problem, though. But one thing you will see is up here is the big treasure chest. We can't get to it from this floor, but we can go up a floor and drop down. As you can see, this floor it's a big room with lots and lots of holes. And we got some guys here to deal with. Now, if we look at the map, we can see that the big chest is right beneath us if we drop down this hole. Fortunately, those monsters that we knocked down there will not be there. It doesn't track the monsters from floor to floor. But we will land there, get the big thing. You found the Moon Pearl. This protects the hero from the changing effects of the golden power. And then these tiles are perfectly set up so that when we walk on them, we can get by just fine. We don't want to walk past that fire because that'll definitely hit us. Knock that off. Okay. Now we need to face the final boss. The final boss is definitely one of the most troublesome in the game because it's a massive Moldorm. And those guys can definitely be very, very random. You can even hear the music change as we go up the stairs. There he is. Isn't he pretty? Yeah. So, we need to dash down here. And we're going to use a trick that involves using this, because this not only gives us a free hit if he happens to bump into it, but the clinking will only give us a small bounce as opposed to swinging our sword. And the reason why this becomes important is, as you can see around the edges, it's all just easily fall off kind of an edge. And so, if we want to stay on this floor, then we want to bounce as little as possible, and this will allow us to bounce as little as possible. And of course we can get a few extra swipes on his tail if we feel like it. But as you can see... Nope, it didn't work. That's because he ran into my body and not the sword. You know what? I wonder if it wouldn't be worth it to actually go back down a floor and hit a switch. So that we can get to those pots. Those pots there on the right side are actually full of hearts. And allow us to refill our health if we need to. The problem is I gotta find a switch. And I think, if I remember correctly, the last switch... all the way down on this floor. Those holes that look like basically gigantic pots are actually drop holes. If you find the right hole at the top floor, you'll drop all the way down and you'll end up in a special room down at the bottom that's full of fairies, if I remember correctly. But we don't need that at the moment. All should be fine. We just want to... We just want to have access to those pots at the top floor. That should allow us to heal up, deal with Moldorm, go away. Now, one of the things is that if we use a pot, the heart won't be underneath it again, so we want to make sure we use only the pots that we need to. Also, these cracked walls, they're fake. There's nothing behind them. Don't waste your bombs. Alright, Moldorm. Unfortunately, because we have to come back up here again, he regains all of his health as well, so we have to fight him from scratch. Bounce over there for a bit. Nope. Alright, now he's gonna go faster. You can see how much I bounced. Oh, we got him. Woo! Lots of explosions. And a heart. And here comes the Triforce of Wisdom. Or not Triforce, the Pendant of Wisdom. You won the Pendant of Wisdom. With this, you have collected all 3 pendants. Now go to the Lost Woods and get the Master Sword. And fortunately, it takes us right back to the bottom of the tower. Alright, so now what we want to do is we want to come over here. I think it's over here. Yeah. There's a place to drop down here, which we will. And this will put us in the back of these tile stairs, but we don't have to take the stairs down. We can drop. No damage. Isn't that wonderful? Now we have this little cave. I think we can dash through most of this? I can't remember. Oh, yeah, the bat's there. I barely remembered the bats in time. But yeah, this cave will take us down back to near where we started. Yeah, this is the place where we can kind of dash for a bit, but we have to be careful because if we bump into that wall, we will fall into that pit. And that pit is black in the bottom, which means it won't take us to a lower floor, but instead it will... well, I'll just show you. You take 1 heart of damage, and you go back to the entrance that you came into the room. So, again, gotta be careful at the bottom. But yeah, ow! That was a mean of that bat. But now we're up here. We can drop down, and that's where we came in before. So, what's cool is that now that we've done that, we actually have another option when we restart a new game. Instead of just Link's house or the sanctuary, we can actually go to the old man's cave, the mountain cave. And so we don't have to go through that entrance thing again now that we've completed that. As you can see, this map also shows the... oh, whoops, I forgot that. Okay. Shows us where we last left our magic portal. So if we wanted to go back to that spot and go to the Dark World, we can, but there's no reason for us to go back there. Now we want to go to that sword area up in the top left to get to where the Master Sword is located. And that is to the Lost Woods. But first, the crow's going to come at us. Oh, bees! Not good. Run away! Sometimes you can bounce into trees and they'll drop stuff. That one will drop stuff depending on various variables. That was a bush with a crab under it. Don't think too hard about that. We got these guys. Maybe it's nothing, but this tree feels kind of strange as we cut it. Yo, Link, a mysterious fog has recently fallen over the forest. We have to be careful. The fog is just mostly ambience. It doesn't really do anything to us. But it does make this place feel a bit like a dungeon. And there actually are a couple of things that we want to do here while we're in the forest. First, let's aggro that raven. Tell him to go away. Thank you. We see a sword. Is this it? This is it. The master... no, this can't be it. Too bad. But we can carry it. And throw it at things. Okay. Let's come down here. And that little hole will lead to a thieves' cave, but there's a secret entrance. More dropping down holes. Nothing up here, but we do have another piece of heart. That puts us at a half there. Now if we talk to this fella. Hey kid, this is the secret hideout for a gang of thieves. Don't enter without permission. By the way, I heard that one of our ex-members is staying at the entrance of the desert. And that was the guy that we ran into in the last episode who was just kind of hanging out, not saying anything. I told you we'd be coming back to him later, but that's not until quite a bit later. So, now we know a little bit more about him, that he used to be a thief, but... In any case, we got some more woods to traverse through. Let's see, do I want to go this way? Yes! So over here, we have this mushroom. This mushroom smells like sweet rotten fruit. You can give this to anyone who wants it. Select it and press the Y button. Well, we know I happen to know exactly who we're going to give that to, but we haven't met them yet, so... Let's carry on through the Lost Woods. We got another raven. Go away. Away! Okay. And we come over this way. We happen to go in this hole. Oh, what is this place? Animals flittering by, and a pedestal with a sword. Seems to be a sun in the front. Well, that's Hillian again, so we need to pull out our book. The hero's triumph on Cataclysm's eve wins 3 symbols of virtue. The Master Sword he will then retrieve, keeping the knight's line true. So if we come over here to the sword, press the A button. Suddenly, Sahasrahla contacts you telepathically. Link, it is extraordinary that you won the Master Sword that makes evil retreat. With this shining sword, I believe you can deflect the wizard's evil powers. Keep that in mind. That's going to be important later. The destiny of this land is in your hands. Please, Link. And now we have a big blue sword, and you can tell right away that it's a different sword because the switch sound effect is different. The animals will roam on by again. However... Link, help! The soldiers are coming to Sanctuary. Uh-oh. Sounds like they went and got Zelda. We better head back to the Sanctuary and see what happened. Wow, that only took one hit to kill. Yep, the Master Sword is definitely more powerful. Now this guy's a jerk. He's actually a thief, and he's just going to come by and steal our stuff. We actually cannot defeat him. So he's kind of a pain. It doesn't really matter which way we go out of the forest, just as long as we get out. I believe there is an exit down here. We've done all we can in the forest. So now, we're going to head down here. We're going to bonk into this tree and find... Oh, we didn't mean to go down here. Whoops, this is a later thing. We need to go back out. Whoops, hang on. I'd totally forgotten about that. Alright, that means we may have to deal with the thief again. Yep, there he is. We can keep the thief away with our sword by bonking him a few times, but... Oh, good heavens. That was very rude. Oh, we're going to want that. Now, one of the things I want to show here is if I get that heart, my heart meter is full. And when my heart meter is full, my sword does this. Very nice. Very useful later. Ah, go away. Does make a lot of noise, though. Oh, we got another mushroom? It doesn't give us more mushrooms. We can only ever have one. I didn't know you could grab it more than once, that it would respawn. That's kind of interesting. But yeah, we need to get out of this forest and find out what happened. Oh, no, that's another thief. Go away. Yeah, we'll go back out. This way? Will this work? Yeah, I believe this should work. Come down here. Yeah, okay. We've seen these fools before. Now, one of the things you will notice is that while my regular sword may take one hit to kill those green guys, it takes our sword beam 2 hits, so it is slightly weaker than our regular sword attack. Quickly get to the Sanctuary, find out what happened to Princess Zelda. Dashy, dashy, dash. Ah, whoops. We'll ignore that guard for the time being. What happened? What? Oh, wow. Oh, wow, what happened? Link, you are a second too late. I have failed. Zelda, the soldiers have abducted her. They have taken her to the castle. You must find her before the wizard works his magic. Please, you are our only hope. And he disappears. Is he dead? Was he teleported into another dimension? Nintendo is not interested in answering these questions. So, we are off to the castle. So hang on a second. Let's think about this for a minute. Now we need to know we need to go there. But how to get in? I suppose we can go that way. That will work. Yeah, that'll work. So we'll go to the east. And run off this way. Here's a graveyard. We're going to come back to this much later. Take care of him. And here's the bridge. As you can see, that sword beam is very useful. Ow! But now that I've been hit, I no longer have it, so I have to get in close now. You jerks. Okay. What does that sign say? I actually don't know off the top of my head. Oh, it's, okay. Magic Shop Waterfall Worship. Yeah, we're going to deal with that later. For now, we need to come down this way. I went too far, actually. We need to go up to here. Yep, Hyrule Castle, this way. Here we go. And because we have the glove, we can lift up this rock. And up that way is the path that we took before to go down the well. But we don't need to do that anymore because they've opened the front doors for us. Now, these guys in red are kind of different because they even have thicker armor than the guys before. They take a couple more hits than usual. Ow! Wasn't fast enough. These guys will keep running away. You can see we've got a couple of extra blue guys now that weren't here before. And so over that way is where we came out of the underground path. And here are the front doors. Now, we've been here before. The insides are really not any different, but we are going to go on a different route here. Because we want to go upstairs, and then over this way, to this part of the castle. we never went this part because it really wasn't relevant to us. And there really wasn't much here to look at anyway. But here we can go back outside. We can go up and down the ramparts of the castle, but the part that really matters to us is right here. There's this big eye, and that's really ominous and menacing, so something serious must be going on over here. And this is actually where I'm going to end this episode. We were able to accomplish some good things, get the last pendant and find the Master Sword, but unfortunately Zelda's been taken. So in the next episode we are going to storm the tower of the castle, face Aghanim, and see if we can rescue Princess Zelda. Until then, take care.